Okay, you guys, if you saw the short video of this service that we did, here's the full version of it. Big chops we did for this service, so keep watching to see how we tackled it. You can follow me on Instagram at Christy@thecottage. All right, here's my client's before again, and she always comes in pretty regularly for her color, so her growth's never really that bad, but she's been talking about wanting to chop her hair, so we're finally doing it. She's been like actually wanting to grow her hair so long. She finally got there, but now she has like young kids. She's tired of the pulling on the hair, so we're cutting it, and she's like super excited. So we're just gonna do a rough cut, and I always do my rough cuts a few inches longer than where they say. So just to be safe, like sometimes you go exactly where they want and then they freak out that it's too short, or that you like went shorter than what they wanted. So word of advice, like start longer than what they say. So now that we're going to get into the color, we're going to start off with my Schwarzkopf BlondeMe with 20 volume and Olaplex and start at her root. And I don't know if you can see that the brush I'm using, but it's one of the Framar brushes, and I really like it because it's a super narrow bristle brush. Like there's some brushes that the bristles are so thick that I feel like you can't get an accurate application. So I really like these Framar brushes for like specifically doing a bleaching tone, because I feel like I can get exactly where I want the bleach to be without like overlapping and going beyond like the line of demarcation. So this brush I think is really, really good because the bristles are just like super narrow that it's not gonna like smudge everywhere else. So you can see here a little bit better that when I'm doing my application, I'm trying not to go directly up to the line of demarcation. And obviously the bleach is going to swell, but I really feel like, and I've heard this from a lot of people, I know I've talked about it a lot, but I really feel like the Schwarzkopf BlondeMe swells so much. Like I always do a little bit of water in my mixture, and I don't even measure it. Like I literally, like sometimes I'll just go to the shampoo bowl and take a nozzle that's already been ran today, and the whatever water's just like left in the nozzle, sometimes I'll just pick it up and shake it into my bleach bowl, so it just puts like a little sprinkles of water in there, and I'll just mix that up with my bleach and just stir it up, and it kind of thins the bleach out a little bit. It doesn't like diminish the power or anything, but I feel like it just reduces the amount of swelling that it causes or that the bleach has. So that's like a big thing for me, is making sure that I'm like trying really hard not to like overlap, or getting as close as I can without overlapping. I mean, like sometimes it's hard, especially like when you're like flipping the hair up and over and like going the underneath side. Like sometimes it does swipe, but I am trying really cautiously to like not overlap. So that's like, obviously if you know your blondes and your bleaching tones and whatever, like overlapping is a big thing. But I feel like with the swelling from Schwarzkopf BlondeMe, sometimes like it's gonna overlap regardless. Like it's gonna have to, or else you're gonna get like a thin line. So of like the natural. So just be really, really cautious. And we use Olaplex, do conditioning treatments, and her hair is always fine. So I just wanted to throw that out there. A lot of people always ask me why I don't do my 4 quadrants, and you'll see in a little bit when I get a little bit further down the head, but I feel like this is a lot faster for me to do my application. So look at from where her forehead is, how far back this part goes. It like goes beyond the back of the crown of the head. So normally when you do your 4 quadrants, you go basically from right at the ears and up, and that basically goes to like halfway up, like over the top of the head. I feel like that creates a lot more work for you. So I prefer just to go all the way straight like down the section just beyond the top of the head and then work my way over. And that knocks out, like when you do that and you work your way down the whole side of the head, by the time you get down, you're like beyond the ear. So that way, when you get to the very, very back section, all you have to do is a small little section straight across the back center instead of doing 2 full quadrants like down either side of the back of the head. I don't know if that makes sense. So you'll see here as I get a little bit further down, like how far back I am in comparison to the ear. And then when I get to the back, you'll see how much smaller of a section I have to finish off. And another thing, I feel like the back top of the head and like this back section of the crown, like the hair is so much more finer on the front of the face. So that back crown area, I feel like takes so much longer to process, or it just is more difficult to lift. Like, I don't care who you are. Everyone is that way, in my opinion. So I feel like the more that I can do in the back crown area, the better. So if I'm like doing my sectioning to start, like, and including that hair as fast as I can, then that to me is like it's already starting to process and I don't have to wait as long. So right in here, you're going to be able to see, like, look how much back further I am beyond the ear. Like, I'm actually much, much further, like a couple inches back. So just think if we were doing like our 4 quadrants, like that would take up so much more work to have to now go do 2 whole sections in the back beyond the 2 sides that I just did. So you'll, like, to me, it's just working faster that way. And that's just how I like to do it. I don't really like to take my time, like wasting my time doing like perfect sectioning, whatever. Like, my partings are clean, but my sectioning, I just work my way around the head. And I feel like that gives me more room to like move around and freedom to like work versus just like working in a box of like 4 quadrants. And I am the same way when I do foils or whatever. You will rarely ever see me like section off a foil or whatever color. I'll like move the hair aside, but like I rarely ever actually like section any hair that I ever do in like any type of quadrants. Like, that is a rare occasion. So here again, you can see how far back, like I'm pretty much coming around the back corner of the head. If we were doing our 4 quadrants, like I would go right to the back of the ear and over the top. And this back section that I'm working on right now, I wouldn't even be touching. So when I get to the very back and actually like pull the hair aside, you'll see when I get to the very top section that I basically just have to work straight across in like one section instead of like 2 separate sections. So here we go. We're going to start that, and then you'll see how much faster this goes. And then obviously when I get, beyond where like everything meets evenly to like the bottom of the sides, like at some point we're gonna have to like pull the hair up in separate sections and everything, and I'm not gonna be able to go straight across the whole time. But for the most part, like I'm not gonna have to waste time doing like 2 sections up the back. I needed to say really quickly, if you're in cosmetology school, if you're trying to get licensed in any way, follow your state guidelines for your 4 quadrants. Like, don't just go into doing your state boards and whip out like a bleach and tone or an application with the sectioning. Like, you will probably fail. So always make sure you're doing like proper application for like any testing or schooling or whatever that you need to. But if you're like out in the industry and want to try like a different type of sectioning, then go ahead. But I needed to say that because I don't want somebody to fail a test because of me. So you can see here that we're still just working straight down in one section down this like very middle center area. So now as we are basically at an even, like this is where we stopped on the sides. So we're basically like, you know, even everywhere. And now we just have this bottom nape of the neck section. I'm going to start pinning the hair up and probably working like this, just this very, very bottom section. Like having to pull up like, you know, multiple, like the 2 panels or whatever. So that's where we're going to start that now. All right, so now that we're done going down the back center of the head, and we're going to lift the hair up in like 2 different sections and finish these little sections down the very nape of the neck area, and then finish getting this bleach on nice and quickly. And the bleach by this point has probably sat for like 45 minutes or so. So it's pretty weak. So it's a like not like ever that it's super okay to overlap, but just because the bleach is a little bit weaker at this point. Like I'm just trying to slap the bleach on quickly to get it on there and start processing. So you obviously you're going to see like a little bit of overlapping in this area. I'm just trying to get it on nice and thick. But you know, I know it's not going to like cause any damage or anything. Like this isn't fresh bleach or anything. So, now that she's done with her application, I'm going to make sure to go like all the way around her hairline, make sure that she has like super thick, heavy saturation all the way around. Throw a foil on there. I don't like to put like them under heat at all, like ever. Never, never, never. So make sure that the hairline is like heavily saturated. Sometimes the hairline like dries out and then it doesn't like process as much, or sometimes it gets like dark spots because the bleach dries out or whatever. So always make sure that you go through and like resaturate around the hairline. So I like to just throw a top like foil on that back section where it like takes a little bit longer to process, and then throw a towel over the head. And that's all that I do for heat. I do not, absolutely not ever put them under the dryer. That can cause a lot of like damage, chemical burns, whatever, like irritation to the scalp. Never, never do that, in my opinion. So now that she's been processing for probably like 20 minutes at this point, I'm just going through and like double checking my work, making sure that everything's fine. As you know, to double check your work, you do like opposite cross sections of what your application was. So that's why I'm going down this way. And then I'm also going to do like a double like check and like go diagonal to make sure I don't have like any missed spots. So we're just going to double check our work, make sure reapply to make sure that it's, you know, that the saturation is still there, and then make sure that everything is looking good. All right, you guys, let's talk about toning really quickly for like platinum blondes. I want to say, so we normally tone her hair to be very, very icy and ashy white. Last time she wanted to like warm up her hair and have like more of a soft, like golden, bright tone to it. So you'll see when I wash her hair out, and like also when I'm showing you now how much leftover warmth is in her hair from toning it slightly warmer. So I'm checking her hair right now. She's been processing, but I want to show you like the difference in her hair. Back here, I'm making sure like how much further does she have to tone. She's been sitting for probably like 30 minutes at this point. We're just checking. If you feel like her hair is light enough, it's not. Let it sit for like 5 to 10 more minutes and then check it again, and then you're ready to go. Like this right here is not light enough. This is still like a level 9. It can be deceiving with the bleach. It looks lighter than what it is with that bleach on there, but once you rinse it, it's still going to be pretty yellow. This is not light enough to rinse out yet. Up here, because this is almost closer, like this is kind of getting closer to the like inside of a banana peel, lighter blonde color. But you can see from that previous toner that we used how much warmth is like still in her hair, like from in the grow out area, or like the previously lightened, how much warmer that is. So before we wash her hair, I'm going to start combing through the bleach through all of her hair. You can see right here that we're pulling the bleach just to try to break through some of that old toner again. But look here, look at how much warmth is in her hair. I know that we wanted to tone her hair a little bit warmer, so that's why it looks so much more yellow than normal. So we're going to do half the formulation, 10 NB, a quarter 10 PA, and a quarter 9V for her formulation, and mixing with the 7 volume, and that's going to sit for about 20 minutes. So here is her after washing her hair out. This is her toning, and you guys, you cannot tone a level 9 with a level 10 and expect it to be icy. So many people message me and ask, why are my blondes not icy? If you have any, even if you feel like you have a clean 10, add just a few little drops of a level 9V or level 9 PA, and it will like ice that hair up really nicely. It's not going to darken it at all. It's just going to minimize any slight warmth that's left in the hair, and it's going to have you like help you get and achieve a nice like icier, ashier tone. So just seriously add a few little drops of 9 in there, 9V, 9 PA, and that will help ice your color down. I forgot, but be smart about it. Don't put like anything that has a 9V where the hair is extra porous, and it's going to really grab that tone. Like, do the hairline last.
Okay, so how are you feeling about the length?
Can I see it without the cape on?
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna hit.
Okay, so just like
part.
maybe a quarter inch more.
Yeah.
I know that I don't do a lot of hair cutting on here, so we're just going to throw this in here like for a few minutes. So I'm tilting the hair very far to the side, and a lot of people ask, even clients come in, why are you tilting my head? So look at all that hair coming underneath, poking through underneath the bottom layer of her hair. If you cut someone's hair like straight on, you're going to end up with a really big chop and a really big like uneven cut. You have to tilt the head away from you to get that underneath layer and from all those like underneath hairs that are going to poke out.
All right, so what are you thinking for like layering?
I just want a little like, cause you know my hair's so poofy.
Not like really layering, but just chipping into the,
just
to break it up so it's not so blunt.
Yeah, just a little bit.
All right, so we're not going to layer her hair, but I'm going to chip really deeply into her hair and point cut. And this is going to help eliminate a lot of weight and not have her hair be like so choppy. A lot of people don't want like a super blunt chopped haircut. So going in and texturizing the hair and just chipping into the weight of the hair and removing all of that extra thickness, that will help soften the hair up and have it lay a little bit better and not feel too heavy. So right here you can see exactly a little bit better, like all those just little slivers of hair that are falling out, but it makes a really big difference when the hair is down. It's not going to feel like such a chopped like blunt bob. It's just going to soften it up really nicely.
How's that length?
It's good. I don't want to go any shorter.
Yeah.
No, it looks good.
Yeah.
It's just something to get used to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like, you know, it's just weird. I don't know.
Getting ready for first grade?
No. Oh my god. I totally look like a Karen.
No, you don't.
Oh my god.
Karen is...
Or like a, I don't even know.
Karen is like an inverted bob with Kate, you know Kate Gosling?
Yeah.
That's Karen.
It kind of looks like that though.
No, it doesn't.
Like, don't offend my work. I would never do that.
Not what it looks like.
Oh my god, she's a new woman.
So cute.
Hello. Thank you. I love it.
All right, here's her before again. And here's her after. If you guys stayed through all of that and like just the haircut and like the talking, whatever, I appreciate y'all. And thank you guys so much for watching. She was really, really happy with her hair. She actually really loves the cut. She was cracking up saying, Ashley Lee, she's like, I'm going to walk down the street and go stop in all of the stores and talk to the managers and complain. So she was like, we're just cracking up and having a good time. And these are the kind of clients that I love. So thank you guys so much for watching. She loved her haircut. I hope you like it. You can see actually how nice and bright and super icy it is still. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like it and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.